Yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy Atayan. Welcome back to another recap video. The recap videos continue, guys. The being a stress of Aurora fan continues. And yeah, we're going to be talking about every single match that happened this weekend. I'm not going to be going super into detail on some of the matches because some of them, as you can tell, were kind of stops, guys. Like a lot of the matches in MPLPH, most of them are like 2-0. If we go the distance, it's a treat, but most of them are kind of stomped because there's massive skill gaps this season. There's a clear top three, and then the rest are kind of trailing behind. But let's see if that changes throughout the course of the season going into playoffs. Let's kick things off with AP Brand versus Onic. This was a stomp. This was the gourd. Clint game, yeah. Onic, again, just continue with amazing drafts time and time again. Definitely, Onic are a very, very complete team. They have multiple different styles. It seems like they actually have a clear identity, which was kind of what I wanted them to have coming into the season. Adding in Severo into the lineup, seems like everything is going well. Hopefully, they can continue this because they are a consistent team. The big issue with Onic last season was just like the consistency and the meta understanding, but they have really good meta read this time around. So yeah, AP Brand just got shit on. Nothing much to say here. Omega versus Team Liquid again, guys. Like these are stomps. These games are ending in less than 13 minutes. That should tell you everything you need to know. Team Liquid are still the best team in the world. So yeah, great drafts from Team Liquid. I mean, the Use on the Suyo, the Eve, the Cloud, the Guitar, like just incredible drafts from TOPH. Day two, we had Twisted Minds versus AP Bren. Twisted Minds actually drafted Gord. A lot of people are drafting Gord because of Super Friends, the Super Friends effect. Now the issue with the Gord, right, is that obviously you need to play around the Gord. When you pick up a conditional or a situational hero, guys, you need to play around that hero. Obviously, if you pick Gord, you need 2 to 3 tanks usually. So that's why they have Uranus, Kalea, 2 tanks, and then a frontliner, which is Leomord. So it's very, very difficult to just get on the Leomord, get on the Gord, sorry, without just getting punished immediately. So really good draft from Twisted Minds. They understood the win con here. AP Brand had a I don't know what this draft is from AP Brand. Like they go triple magic, like insane late game, right? Like realistically, insane late game. Basha, Claude, Valentina, Joy, Alice. Like that is a pure like late game siege draft. Like if everything goes to late game, these guys will run you over. But the issue is that you're relying too much on magic. Like the only amount of consistent damage that you're gonna be getting is from Claude. And obviously the Joy is conditional engaged because if you fuck up your combo, you're cooked. Especially against the Kalea. The Joy can't do anything. She can't survive the aftermath of the ult. So cooked, and then Twisted Minds just they outdrafted in both games. Then we had Falcons versus Omega, which was the big shock of the weekend. Obviously, Falcons did lose 2-1. Omega's a really good team. Like I'm not gonna look at this and be like, oh my god, Falcons are falling off. They're frauds. Like Omega are scaling. They're a really, really good team. You're not gonna win them all, right? Like Falcons are still to me the second best team in the Philippines. So they're really, really good. I didn't really like the carry pick here, guys. Like you guys know my opinion on carry. I think carry's a good hero, but I think there's better marksman options. I mean, the single target Claude is just way better. I don't know if they could have picked up the Claude, but even Super Marco just plays better on the Claude. And then the Farsa, Farsa, I'm not a huge fan of, guys. She's conditional. And then the Sora, I'm not a huge fan of. Like the Harley and Khalid make sense for the constant poke and aggression, but yeah, Falcons got outplayed. TOP versus TNC, nothing much to say. Team Liquid Philippines destroyed them. Like, bro, if you look at all four of Team Liquid's games that they played this weekend, both matches, they ended every single game in less than 14. Not a single game went to like late game, right? Because past 15 minutes you would consider like late game. None of the games went past 14 minutes, which is crazy. That goes to show how disciplined and how polished Team Liquid are. Like these guys do not make mistakes. It's gonna be very difficult to beat Team Liquid. And then obviously Falcons destroyed Twisted Minds. They knew they had to bounce back properly after losing to OMG. They completely dominated them. Good drafts. classic vintage Falcons, still a top two team in the Philippines. Like, don't get it twisted. Just because they lost to Omega doesn't change anything. So yeah. And then Aurora versus Onic. Obviously, as an Aurora fan, this it's just guys. To be honest, I wasn't even that surprised when we lost. Like the issue with Aurora is that they win the first game in a lot of these series, and then they lose two in a row. I would much rather just lose every single game because there's no point in winning it and then losing it in the end. You can't clutch it up. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on. Like, to be honest, guys, I'm not gonna sit here and just flame Aurora. I've already done that, but to cope and really to be on the positive side of things, they are improving slightly, ever so slightly, even though it's very minimally. They are improving slightly, guys. We saw it in the early games both times. Like, they are improving, even though it's very, very little. The early game in game one was incredible. The early game in game two was really, really good. I mean, Rora were winning that game, but the issue with the Rora guys is that we've talked about this issue for the whole season. Um, Look at their draft in game two. You pick Arla, Suyo, Valentina, Harith, Qatar. Where is the damage coming from if Harith dies? You pick Harith, you don't have any consistent damage. There's no attack speed. There's not like a true hyperscaler in any other lane besides the Harith. The Harith is a late game demon, but the enemy has Harley who just destroys the Suyo if played properly. They have the Gord, which is a hyperscaler. They have the Claude. So there's multiple more win cons for the side of Onic Philippines in that game. Whereas with Aurora, they're all playing around to protect the Harith because without the Harith, they're all gonna die. They're not gonna do any damage in the team fights. They are playing Guitar a lot more, which I do like the Guitar, but Light has been playing it. He played it kind of bad in game three. And then we talk about game three, guys. I mean, the Eve pick I thought was really, really good because Eve is very good with the Fredrin. But bro, like Aurora did nothing with the Eve pick. The Eve pick had no value. It was kind of just there for zoning. And to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the Eve. Like in hindsight, it wasn't the best pick. The Gord was way more valuable. But that's also because Onic just outdrafted. I want to say they outdrafted. Let me rephrase. I think Onic do outscale because they have a Phoveus and a Herod and a Gord. Like the damage is not even close, right? Like that's the issue again with Aurora's drafts. They only play around Domin Kite. There's no win cons in any other lane. Like back last season, they would even pick out the Sicilian, or sometimes they would pick out, you know, really situational picks like a hyperscaler in the mid lane, but the Eve is not going to do that much damage compared to the Gord because she's utility. But again, the Fredrin, the Sora, the Gatot, if Claude dies, they're cooked, guys. They cannot win team fights, especially in the late game. I mean, Gord will just melt the Fredrin, and the Phoveus will just can literally 1v3 the Fredrin, Sora, and the Gatot while the Harith just does his job. So yeah, like it was a good draft from Aurora, but they ultimately just out macroed and out microed, and then they ended up losing the game. But I don't think the drafts game one draft was really really good from Aurora, right? Like that's vintage Aurora. I want to see Edward more on the Phoveus. I think going into playoffs if they do make the playoffs, because at this point, guys, Aurora might not even make the playoffs. And if they don't make the playoffs, am I going to be shocked? Not really. Am I going to be disappointed? Yes. But at the end of the day, you saw this coming a mile away, guys. You've seen Aurora with dog shit gameplay for the past 2 months, and something needs to change, guys. As a huge Aurora fan, if we do not make the playoffs, and if we make the playoffs, right? Let me tell you two scenarios. If we don't make the playoffs, we have to make a change. I don't care for who. We have to make a change. I don't think. Listen, I don't think we're gonna change UA or Domain Kite, but we have to make a change either in the jungle, most likely the jungle. I'm not gonna say we have to move Edward out the roster. I think Demon Kite is by far the worst player on the team. He's kind of the less valuable piece asset. He makes the most amount of mistakes, and honestly, he's a liability, guys. Especially this season, Demon Kite has not been performing that well. But to be honest, he was incredible at M7. So if they stick it out with him for another season, I'll understand it. But I need to see a change. I need to see at least a substitute coming in to put pressure on the starting five to actually perform better. And if we make the playoffs and we get eliminated first round, that'll be the biggest fucking disappointment. That'll be even worse than not making the playoffs because at least if you don't make the playoffs, you don't deserve to make the playoffs. But if you make the playoffs and get eliminated in the first round by most likely Onic, because Onic Philippines is definitely going to be the third seed going into the playoffs, Aurora are going to come in as the last seed. Six plays three, four plays five. So Aurora is going to be playing against Onic. And right now, Onic will destroy us the way we're playing. They'll 3-1 us. They might even 3-0 us because if as soon as something goes wrong, Aurora just snowballs out of control. They don't know how to. There's no resilience in these games, guys. Like we're missing that formula, that clutch factor that we had at M7, where even when we were losing games, we were able to out macro, we were able to out clutch them in team fights. But there's none of that, bro. All our players are individually underperforming. Kite is still having a good season. Like I truly do believe Kite is still a bright spot for this team. But man, the rest are just having such a bad season, and it doesn't make any sense because M7 was not that long ago, guys. The meta hasn't changed that much, guys. The only difference is that we're seeing more assassins, but the meta is still relatively the same. You're getting the pick X, you're getting the same XP lane picks, you're getting relatively the same mid lane picks, the same roam picks. Like it's just nowadays you need more formulas to win. You can't just draft front to backs and rely on one person to carry late game team fights. So that's my little rant about Aurora. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about the season this far. We're only 2 weeks away, or yeah, 2 weeks and a half away from the playoffs. So yeah, guys, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.